Hey, good morning. It's that time again. It's 8 a.m. Mountain. Is it? I think it's Standard Time, Mountain Standard Time in Longmont, Colorado. I am Kim Castle here at COSOL, also in Longmont, Colorado, and I am here with as a part of Longmont Startup Week, which is, I think, just starting to happen today behind me. Good morning. How are you today? If you're here, go ahead and say hi. Let me know in the comments below. And if you're watching this broadcast in the replays in the feed, that's interesting. That's kind of the same thing nowadays. If you're watching video or television on Facebook, it's really kind of a replay. In the feed. Let me know. Go ahead and comment below as well, because the conversation continues. And if you'd be so inclined, you can share this with your Facebook community by clicking on share. Today is really a wrap-up of the events, what's been going on, and what's really happening on the last day. If you haven't been watching these broadcasts on this page or on the Longmont Observer or on the YouTube channel, my name is Kim Castle, and I recently moved to Longmont, Colorado from Los Angeles. Well, actually, Venice Beach, California. And I like to say that I traded skateboarders for squirrels, because that's what I did. I have lots of squirrels in my yard, whereas before, in my front yard, I had lots of skateboarders. And as you can imagine, it's been kind of an adjustment. Not quite a Chevy Chase movie, but it's been an adjustment, but a welcome one. I wanted to move. All my life I've lived in big cities, big cities, and just got to a point where I wanted closer relationships. I wanted a closer knit community, and I moved here to start my business, Life-alicious, and you can find out more about Life-alicious at lifealicious.me or on my Facebook page if you follow me, Kim Castle. And that's exactly what I found here in Longmont. An amazing community, amazing innovation, amazing support. And that's really what's happening here all week. It has been happening here all week at Longmont Startup Week. And you can find out more about the types of events. Oops, let's see. That's wrong. Yeah, you can find out, having a little computer glove, you can find out more about Longmont Startup Week and the types of events that they have during it. I'm going to put it on the screen for you. No, keep adding an M. It's not an M. It is just a CO. Longmont.startupweek.co. And you can see the kinds of events that have been going on all week. Now, Startup Week is not a new thing. It's been going on. I believe it started in Boulder. And I was surprised that there's this level of support and knowledge for free up and around the Front Range. But Longmont, what's happening here in Longmont is a bit different. While the format of the week is the same, where there's panels, there's fireside chats, there's speakers. From my interviews with people after sessions who have attended the sessions here and who have also attended in Denver and Boulder, there is definitely a distinct difference. Longmont is smaller. Now, mind you, I'm going to give you a reference. Longmont is about 15 miles north of Boulder. So we're not very far from Boulder. But from the interviews that I've been having, it's a world apart. While Boulder is amazing and there's so much innovation, what Longmont has going for it is smaller, and it is a tight-knit community. But there's a ton of innovation and energy and excitement and a very, very fertile ground here in this area. So I'm excited to be here. So, and if there's anybody, if you're watching and you're from Longmont, why don't you let me know down below what's the thing that you love most about living here in Longmont? Let me know down below. So let me just kind of talk to you about some of the events that I attended yesterday that I thought were pretty spectacular. Let's see. It was a busy day. I know that there was development, like developers. I think there was a hackathon yesterday. I went to Outlaw Yoga, which is more in alignment with what I do and what I care about. And it was crazy. I had never done a downward dog, like hooting and hollering and listening to Leonard Skinner. But it was a very different experience of yoga, and I really appreciate the founder. I believe his name is Mark. I appreciate his unique spin on yoga, and it really kind of felt it was a neat way to do yoga in the middle of Colorado near the mountains, listening to Leonard Skinner and hooting and hollering. That was definitely unique. Yeah, there you go. That was definitely a unique yoga experience. I love the sense of community. Oh, look at this. Look at this one. Lachlan loves the sense of community. Let's see who else. Longmont, here's another one. Longmont is definitely known for innovation. And now what's interesting about that comment, thank you for that, because I can feel that here. It's funny, when you speak to somebody in the area that's not from Longmont, let's say from Denver or from Boulder, who hasn't really turned their attention to the area, they still think of it as an agriculture area. They still call it Cowtown. But that is not my experience here. Now, mind you, I could pull up at a stoplight and turn and see cows, but it does not feel like it is a cow town. It definitely feels like this up-and-coming city. Let's see. What else did I go to yesterday? There at the end of let me close this one. At the end of the day, towards the latter part of the day, happy hour, there was it was at Warrior Playground, and it was teams competing, like teams from companies competing in an obstacle course. And it was really fun to watch them and interview them. It was mostly competitors, meaning that it was mostly the breweries. There's 11 breweries in this city, and it was mostly the brewers, the different respective brewers competing against each other. And having come from a big city where competition is fierce and it is really a dog-eat-dog competition, what was really fun is to see these competing companies compete with each other and have it foster even more community, not more competition, more community. And it was just amazing to me. If you were at that or competing, let me know. What was your experience? Let me know in the comments below. So those were a couple of events. So we have panels on evaluating your startup all the way to outlaw yoga and competing in an obstacle course. Brilliant programming, and I really want to recognize the team at Longmont Economic Development Partnership, Jessica, Janine, Crystal, and Dana. This wouldn't have been so successful without you. And it's interesting. As a newcomer, I'm only seeing everything with a new set of eyes. I think it's important also to look at this event from the eyes of the people who have been to other Longmont Startup Weeks, the people who live here, to see, what do they think? How does an event like this affect their community? And if I haven't spoken to you and you haven't answered that question, let me know that below. How important is having a startup week here in Longmont to your community? And if you don't live in Longmont, imagine if you had a week-long event with over nearly 100 different events, speakers, panels, people that you can literally mentor hours, that you can walk up and ask questions, get real answers to your specific questions from people who are actually doing that or people who have had success doing that. How important would that be to you? To your own success, to the success of your community? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. Let's see, Josh. It was so much fun seeing the different teams competing. Oh yes, at the Warrior Playground. Yeah, it was fun. It was, I think if I wasn't so exhausted, I'm the kind of person that would have jumped in and like put the war paint on me and let me at it. Yeah, it was really, really fun to watch that. If we go back to the comment about like how, if you knew that you didn't have to grow your business all by yourself, I mean, and you didn't have to pay somebody, you didn't have to give away a part of your dream to somebody just for their knowledge, how important would that be? What would it enable you to do? I, as a person who has helped entrepreneurs for the last 20 years from a marketing, branding, storytelling, media angle, I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs, and the biggest issue that they have was lack of knowledge, lack of knowing what steps to take when, and that feeling of being alone. And as a new entrepreneur myself with Lifelicious, I can totally see those are the same issues I have. The right knowledge, knowing the right step to take at the right time, and that profound sense of you're doing this all alone. And I have to say that I don't feel that here. I feel that I could throw a rock and find somebody that is invested in my success, even if they don't know me. And that is the coolest thing here in Longmont, and it's quite evident at Longmont Startup Week, as well as I need to mention, I'm at a location called CoSolve, and you can check out CoSolve. It's cosolve.co. It is a co-working space. Let me put this up here. It is a co-working space that's just launching. It's kind of like in its beta here in basically downtown Longmont. And we've all heard of co-working spaces, areas where you don't have big overhead, you don't have to pay electricity, you just pay a membership fee and you have access to a desk or an office or a conference room. And you sit down and you do your thing. In LA, I'd walk into those environments and I'd see people, they could be sitting right next to each other, but they're not talking. There's like these invisible walls, or what I would say when I was a stand-up, there's, you move to LA and one of the things you're given is a me bubble, that it just kind of insulates yourself from the elements, studio execs and smog, right? And here, that's not the same. People are like talking and involved. I mean, let's see, are they talking? They're kind of talking. They're involved, and they're really, truly here to help each other. And as a business owner and as a creator, I've always looked at creating a business like a picnic. I know it sounds simplistic, but a big picnic, or the potential of a big picnic. And if somebody created a framework of, okay, here's the table, here's where we're meeting, everybody bring your best dish. And somebody says, I bring email marketing, I bring SEO, I bring media, I bring the audience. Everybody knew their piece, and everybody brought their piece to the picnic. We would all have a really big picnic, and we would all be fed really, really well. And that's something that I held in my belief in LA. And it was hard to experience that, to be quite honest. Could be me. I don't blame LA. It was just wasn't my experience there. And I think I found a really big picnic here. So that's really, and it's so evident in Longmont Startup Week. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the schedule. If you're in the Front Range, you can check out again Longmont. Let me take this off the there. You can check out longmont.startupweek.com. wanna-preneurs.co. It's not too late to join us for the event today. Today is the last day. Let's talk about some of the things that are going on today. Well, we're starting with the community coffee at Base Camp. That's what's going on behind me. I think it's Friday, so that's why it's a little bit light. I think the happy hour at Warrior Playground kind of took a lot out of people, so they're not here yet. Now, there's a panel coming up very shortly in about 45 minutes called Leveraging Big Data, Decision-Making to Maximize Impact and Profits. Now, I think that's going to be a very, very exciting panel. I have a couple of friends on that panel. I, for one, as a creator, data is on the other end of the spectrum for me in terms of understanding and seeing data. But I imagine it's kind of like the movie A Beautiful Mind, when the guy walked into the room and he saw all the code and all the things, and he started seeing patterns in all the letters. And I think there's huge value in data, especially as a business owner, as a marketer. So I'm going to attend that, even though it's not something that I naturally gravitate to as a business owner. I think it's valuable and vital to understand data and how it really serves your business. So hopefully on that panel, they're going to teach people like me, to dip my toe into data. There's also a session going on at the same time called Canna Tech, and it's looking into innovations within the cannabis industry, and I think that will be incredibly interesting and valuable because, wow, gone are the days where all, the industry is just paraphernalia and T-shirts and Grateful Dead CDs. There's so much innovation in business, medical, security, banking. It's amazing. And so I think that'll be a really amazing panel there as well. There's a great session called Lean Learning, Ask the Right Questions. And I think that'll be a very fascinating panel as well. I was taught years ago, in order to succeed, you have to learn to ask the right questions because the answers you get will make the difference. And so I think that'll be a great panel. Clean Tech, Up Creek Robotics, a crash course in design thinking, which I believe is more like reverse engineering. That's brilliant. And then let's see, a closing keynote with Dr. Walter Scott. Required for starting a new industry. He's going to talk about persistence, entrepreneurial mindset. Let's see what else is going on. Angel investing 101. So if you're thinking about becoming an angel investor, come on down. Finding talent, how to really create culture and develop a team. I think that's vital. And then there's a base camp crawl. So I think it's going to happen here and go to, there's the cidery, there's a distillery. I think it's going to happen around here. And then finally, we're going to close out the entire Longmont Startup Week with a concert. Great American Taxi, I believe, is the band, and it's going to happen on Main Street. So that's what's happening today at Longmont Startup Week. As a newcomer to the community, it's interesting. As a newcomer to this community, as a result of this entire week, I don't feel like a newcomer anymore. I feel like I'm a part of this community, and I, for one, am so grateful and honored that everybody's welcomed me and that you've welcomed me. And here's somebody wrote, I'm excited for the lean learning session. Yeah, I am too. So that's it for today. This wraps up my reporting on Longmont Startup Week for 2017. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Economic Development Partnership, to be of contribution, to report on what's going on, and I look forward to doing it next year as well. So thanks for joining me, and hope to talk to you soon. Until then, have a life-alicious life. Bye.